How do you know your team isn't just, busy, but actually busy building the right things? Well, this framework we're going to walk through is all about making that critical shift, getting out of the tactical weeds and into true strategic leadership. And this quote, it just nails a product leader's absolute worst nightmare. You've got this team, they're a model of agile efficiency, but they're building something nobody actually wants. Ugh, they're amazing at executing, but they're just not being effective. And that brings us right to the core problem, what our source material calls the tactical illusion. You know what this is. It's that trap of endless busy work, like meticulously grooming the backlog, that feels super productive, but it's completely missing the bigger strategic picture. So many teams are just trapped in this loop, right? They're prioritizing a flat backlog of features. They spend hours optimizing how they build, arguing over story points, using complex scoring systems like RICE, but they never stop to question what they should be building in the first place. All that energy, it's all happening in the solution space, not the problem space. Okay, so this is where we need a radical shift in focus. We have to completely change the conversation. We need to move away from asking, which features should we build next? And start asking a much, much more powerful question. Which customer problem should we solve next? And this slide just lays it all out, doesn't it? The old way is this flat list of features. The new way? It's a tree of customer needs. We're moving from complex scoring to a real structured debate. We're shifting our focus from outputs, the stuff we build, to outcomes, the value we create. This isn't a scheduling exercise anymore. It's true strategic problem setting. All right, so how do we actually choose the right opportunity? How do we make that strategic choice in a structured way? Well, that is exactly where this four-lens framework comes into play. So here they are: sizing, market, company, and customer. But let me be really clear about something. This is not a mathematical formula. You're not plugging numbers into a spreadsheet to get a score. Think of these as four lenses to guide a strategic conversation, a debate, for your product trio to come to a really thoughtful, subjective judgment. So lens number one, sizing. The key question here is, how many customers are affected and how often? And listen, this isn't about some massive 6-month research project. It's about getting a rough, kind of back-of-the-napkin estimate of the scale. Are we talking about something that hits a small group of users every single day, or a huge chunk of them maybe once a year? Okay, next lens, market. Here, we're looking at the competitive landscape. Is solving this problem just table stakes, something everyone else already does and you're just playing catch-up? Or is this a real differentiator? Is this an opportunity that could help you leapfrog the competition? Lens number 3 is all about the company. We're looking inward now. How well does this opportunity actually align with our company's strategy and our brand? If your whole brand is built on being simple and easy to use, does this fit? Does it play to your strengths, or is this going to be a huge uphill battle for your team? And last but absolutely not least, lens 4, the customer. This is maybe the most crucial one. How important is this to them? How painful is this unmet need, really? When you're talking to customers, is this the thing they bring up with real passion, with real emotion in their voice? That's where you find the gold. Okay, so you've got the framework. The lenses make sense. But what's your role as a leader in actually implementing this? Let's talk about that. All right, here's the playbook for putting it into action. First, you hold a real prioritization ceremony, a structured debate using those 4 lenses. Then, and this is key, the team declares one target opportunity, just one. That creates incredible focus. And here's the kicker. You frame it as a reversible decision. The commitment isn't to ship a solution. The commitment is to explore the problem. That takes so much pressure off. So your role as a leader completely changes. You have to stop asking for a prioritized feature list. Instead, you start asking for a prioritized list of customer problems. Your job isn't to second-guess their choice. It's to ask, why did you choose this opportunity over the others? You're auditing the process, not the outcome. And then you empower them to say no to everything else, and you protect them like crazy from distractions. All right, let's make this super real, super practical. I want to give you one action you can take with your team, like first thing Monday morning, to kickstart this whole shift. I want you to walk in and ask your team this one simple question. What customer problem have we consciously chosen not to solve? The answer, or maybe the lack of an answer, is going to tell you everything. Because, look, the essence of strategy isn't what you do, It's what you consciously choose not to do. So go ahead, ask your team that exact question on Monday. If they just stare at you blankly, well, that's a huge sign that they're not thinking strategically yet. But if they can answer it, it's going to spark an amazing conversation about focus, about trade-offs, and about what really matters. It's such a simple question, but it can be the first step in shifting your entire team from just being busy to being truly strategic.